So it's going to be laid off by Owen Evans for likely James Roberts to hit and hope through the kiddie wall and in. It's blown, it's gone in, it's a goal!
James, first of all, welcome to Spennymoor Town Football Club. You've spent the majority of your career playing further down south. Obviously you originate from Buckinghamshire. So what was the appeal for moving up north, relocating and joining Spennymoor Town?
There are a few things, to be fair. The vision of the club. You know, I've come in today, the pitch is dug up, the stands are down because everything's been renovated. You know, the irrigation system, the pitch coming up. That was massive. Last season, you know, I followed you guys quite closely, did fantastically, and were in all honesty very unlucky not to go up via the playoffs. You know, watched you when you played Hereford, obviously being at Hereford myself, so I watched the game up here, watched the highlights of the game, liked the way that the boys were moving the ball, and the gaffer. And the gaffer's got really good intentions for the club. Seems a very, very honest man, and someone, he's been honest with me as well, and that's helped. And I've really, really looked at the club, looked at all the options that I've had in this summer, and this is definitely the best fit and definitely the best place.
You speak of the gaffer there, Jason. When was the first time Jason got in touch with you, and what did he say? How did he sell the club to you?
Strangely enough, it was last year. I came in last year for a couple of training sessions, loved the feel of the place, but in all honesty, the timing wasn't right. You know, things in your personal life may not be right, and it wasn't right to come up. This year again, you know, communication started, and I felt a lot more ready to as you say, relocate and see what this is going to bring me. But you know, Jason's vision for the club is massive. You know, he wants to go up, he wants success. Same as everyone at the club. Everyone I've spoken to wants success, and that's a massive draw to any player. No player wants to be at a club where there isn't any drive, there isn't any ambition, and you know, this club absolutely oozes ambition, and that's what I'm really looking forward to being part of.
And if we take a look back at your career, you think you started at Wycombe Wanderers, and then you went on to join Oxford, where you actually broke into the first team, made about 30 appearances, and you scored on your debut against York. You scored a couple of goals in the FA Cup as well against Grimsby. So how do you look back at that experience in that time overall, and how's that helped you in your career? I
mean, it's really helpful. You know, I had a lot of older pros, playing with me, like Brian Howard, Alfie Potter, Jake Wright, who was the skipper at the time, helped me through, especially that first day at Grimsby and at York, a lot, helped me massively. And, you know, that being at such a young age, being at 18 years of age, now I'm 22, turning 23, I feel like I've got a bit more experience than maybe others who haven't been in the league. You know, that's nothing against them. You know, people take different paths to where they need to get to in football. But I feel as if the pressures of that situation, of perhaps being the favourite against Grimsby, the underdog against York, I've experienced quite a few things at quite a good level. And I feel like that stands me in good stead for the pressures that being at a top club in a league brings.
And you've spent a lot of time out on loan as well with different clubs, Guiseley, Barnet. So do you think, you talk about the pressures of the game and stuff and gaining experience, do you think them loan spells have benefited you, or was it a bit of a frustrating time because you couldn't really settle at one club?
Yeah, it was a bit frustrating, to be honest. You know, it was in a tough time in my personal life, you know, that affected my football, in all honesty. But it was a little bit of both. Guiseley was enjoyable for me. I really enjoyed playing up in Leeds, living up there, which is another reason I like the north anyway. It's a lovely place to live. But I feel as if they were quite frustrating, and it would be nice certainly to settle down in hopefully a place that I really enjoy, but in a part of the country that I already love. And as I say, that's why I'm thoroughly looking forward to getting going. And
in terms of your role, obviously you're a striker, a goal scorer, and we have some great goal scorer in town here. Obviously Glenn Taylor finishes the National League North Player of the Year, top goal scorer. Has Jason discussed your role at the club, how he wants to use you in the upcoming season?
Yeah, I mean, you know, I'm aware of Glenn Taylor. You know, everyone in the Conference North is. You know, last year at Hereford, when we were talking about, you know, danger men, it's you know, when we're playing Spennymoor, you know, they've got a goal scorer who scores 30 goals a season, and that's gold dust to anyone, any team. And Jason has spoken to me. You know, hopefully I can add some goals to that, because, you know, as many as he's scored, and you know, the rest of the team chipping in, it's always useful to have someone else that chips in. You know, my goal scoring record, I'm the first to say, when I'm on loan, isn't the best, because it's difficult to settle into a team, and I feel like I'm judged quite often on that. However, when I actually start games, I have actually a very good record of scoring, and hopefully that's what I can give to the fans, to the management, and most of all the players, because it's important to gel into a new group, and the best way to gel into a new group is to show that you can be a valuable member to the team, and you can help them.
And you mentioned you trained with the side last year at one point. So do you know any of the Spennymoor lads currently in the side, or is it a case of, as you said, gelling into the dressing room?
I think it's a case of gelling. I only came down once, and so obviously I was only here for a brief period. As I say, I loved the feel of the place, but it just wasn't the right time. So it is a case of coming into a new dressing room and a new culture. I'm from near London. It's a different culture to up north. I've found it wherever I've been, to Chester, to Guiseley. It's a different culture and a different group of lads. So it's always tough, but I feel up north there's a real family feel to most clubs, and I'm looking to really blend in, getting in amongst it, and hopefully we can have a fantastic season.
And finally, do you see this as maybe a fresh start in your career, a new chapter in it, and what can the fans expect from the season? What type of player would you describe yourself as? It's
absolutely a fresh start for me. I wouldn't have decided to relocate if it wasn't a fresh start, and that's something that I'm really looking forward to. And they can expect a hard-working player who will run for 90 minutes without fail, someone who gives his all for the shirt, and someone that hopefully is going to put in 20-25 goals this season, because I feel I have the ability to do it. I feel like the management team who have seen me feel like I have the ability to do it, and I hope to show them that I do have the ability to do it.